This week on Chuckload of Comics, massive news for the Suicide Squad 2 movie. Early reviews are in for Shazam, and they are outstanding. MORBIUS, the Living Vampire, begins filming for a 2020 release date, and we're giving you our Captain Marvel movie review. All that plus comic book picks of the week, right here on Chuckload of Comics. Okay.
Cold.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to Chuckload of Comics. I don't know. Do you think that sign is big enough back there?
I don't know. It can always be bigger.
What is that, a sign for ants? It should be at least 3 times that size.
What is that, a sign for ants? Welcome to the show, guys. Chuckload of Comics is the weekly show where we break down the week's nerd news, all the headlines happening in the world of fandom. We try to break it down for you every single Sunday right here on YouTube.
That's right.
If you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button. Join us here for all the fun.
Yeah, supposed to click it about 1,000 times.
Every time you click it, an angel gets his wings.
Yep. That's what I've heard.
Did you guys see the Shazam trailer?
Yes.
The new Shazam trailer dropped this week. This is not on our sidebar, but man, I am super excited about Shazam.
Yeah.
I cannot be more excited. Even with, okay, I got Eminem stuck in my head, though.
Right?
I got the Slim Shady song stuck in my head. A lot of big trailers. None of this is on the sidebar. We're just kind of chatting. That Brightburn trailer was sick as hell.
Oh, yeah, it was really good.
Did you see the Cobra Kai Season 2 trailer?
No, I did not see that, but I can't wait for that to come out.
Just as good as the first season of Cobra Kai.
Just enough cheese.
Oh, cheesy as hell.
Great.
We got an amazing Game of Thrones trailer for that.
Okay.
Comes out in April.
What's Game of Thrones?
It's I think it's like a Star Wars
Yeah, I think
kind
so.
of thing.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, huge week. Before we get into all of the amazing nerd news, everything you see on that sidebar over there, a quick shout out to our sponsor. Every single week, Chuckload of Comics is brought to you by the guys at Cold War Games, Arts, and Entertainment. Their game, Fight Your Friends, is fully funded.
Woohoo! Way to go, guys.
Their Kickstarter funded faster than a Bernie Sanders campaign.
Oh, yeah.
The whole thing was funded in literally 48 hours.
That's awesome. Way to go, guys.
So what does that mean?
And
That
gals.
means you can now get Fight Your Friends on
Yep.
Kickstarter. Go to Kickstarter, just search for Fight Your Friends. You can get this amazing indie comic book card game
So cool.
and have it in your house. You can get it for like $15.
That's awesome.
Every single week we are unveiling a new character card for the Fight Your Friends game. This week's card is Lucy.
Lucy.
One of the weirdest looking characters I've ever seen, but weird in an amazingly beautifully
Right.
good way. Lucy is from the series Kindergarten by Sean Koss.
Nice.
You can see more from Sean Koss at SeanKossArt.com, and definitely check out Fight Your Friends, fully funded on Kickstarter.
Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. They
I
funded
know.
this thing in like 2 days.
That's awesome. It's
I've-
because of how great it's going to be, and it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, the art on those cards are beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely spectacular, guys. Before we get into the weekly nerd news, our comic book picks of the week, your required reading, Paper Girls is back
Yes.
from Brian K. Vaughan. If you guys haven't been reading Paper Girls, you absolutely should. Brand new Star Wars series, Vader Dark Dimension, is it?
Yeah.
Is it Dimensions? Dark Visions.
Visions. There you go.
I did read it. I swear to God, it's really cool. It's going to be standalone Darth Vader stories. Every book's going to be kind of a single one shot.
And I think there's 5 total.
Yeah.
Yep.
Doomsday Clock is back. You know, the book that comes out every 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the longest 12-issue run I've ever experienced in my life.
I know. But it's worth it.
I
It's worth
know.
the wait.
And of course, Conan the Barbarian, Jason Aaron, crushing it with Conan.
I know.
So pick up these books if you read any books and you think we're missing them.
Yeah. Just
Give
let
us a
know.
shout. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and break down this week's nerd news. So, guys, the first big nerd news story from DC, Suicide
Drumroll,
Squad. We
please.
talked about Suicide Squad last week and how Will Smith isn't going to be returning for Suicide Squad 2.
Boo-hoo.
Well, we got a couple of big announcements. We found out who's going to be replacing Will Smith as Deadshot, and we also got 4 new characters. Ralph, you've been saying for weeks that they don't have to bring back the old characters.
Right.
They're going to be announcing new characters.
I'm very excited.
We're
King
gonna-
Shark?
I know. Well, before we break down all the new characters coming to Suicide Squad 2, we got to talk about this. Idris Elba is replacing Will Smith as Deadshot.
I'm not surprised. He's in every movie.
It is kind of a safe bet. I wasn't super surprised, but I am really excited.
Yeah.
And I will
absolutely.
watch Idris Elba read the phone book. I don't care. He's a spectacular actor.
That sounds very entertaining,
Yeah,
actually.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Make it happen. That really kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
Very exciting, but it was a little bit surprising, actually, now that I think about it.
I feel like it's going to be an upgrade. I mean, it's sad to see Will Smith go, but Idris Elba, oh my God.
I know.
I know. He's perfect.
I know.
I personally would have loved to see him as Jon Stewart, but this is a
Ooh.
good. This is
That
a
would
good.
have been great, too.
A good casting.
You don't think he's a little old to play Green Lantern?
Oh no! Come on.
Nah.
No. Yeah, I'm super stoked about Deadshot. I was surprised because, I mean, I kind of figured that James Gunn would pick some more kind of unknown
Sure.
actors, pull somebody from relative obscurity, kind of like he did with Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really give some semi-unknown actors their shot. But it seems like they'll probably do that for the new characters.
Oh.
New characters coming to Suicide Squad 2, guys. Drum roll.
Here we go.
Ratcatcher. King Shark. Polka Dot Man.
Oh, my gosh.
And Peacemaker.
I'm sorry, but DC, where do they come up with these names?
I don't
These are
know.
the worst names for villains ever.
That's why
Yes.
Marvel was winning that race back in the day. It's
Exactly.
like, well, do I read about Polka Dot Man
Or
or
do-
Spider-Man?
Exactly.
Wow.
I'm going with Spider-Man.
Me too.
Have you guys heard of any of these characters?
No.
King Shark, yes.
King Shark, yes.
Shark's awesome.
Well, let me fill you in. Ratcatcher. Guess what he does for a living? He's an exterminator in
See?
Gotham City.
Not surprising.
Like all exterminators, he turned to a life of crime, wound up in prison, and is now part of the Suicide Squad. I'm excited about this.
I am too. I can't get over the names, man. It's
Yeah.
just like, let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they do.
Well, we'll get to Polka Dot Man in a second. King Shark. Guys, if you're not watching The Flash, King Shark is one of those characters where it's like, how is this going to look
I know.
on screen? Well, if you've been watching the Flash series, you know King Shark can actually work.
Yeah.
He looks really cool on Flash.
Do you remember
Oh,
those
man, I'm gonna
street
have to-
sharks, or what is that what they were
He
called?
looks just like a
He
street
looks
shark.
like a street shark.
Yep.
His muscle bound.
He basically is a street shark.
Yep.
With a crown on his head.
Interesting.
Let's get into Polka Dot Man. Polka Dot Man, he grows multicolored polka dots on his body that he can turn into fireballs and other weapons.
You said fireballs.
Well, it reminds me of the X-Men character, the lesser-known X-Men character Gold Balls, who shoots big balls of gold
You're
out of his
kidding me,
chest.
right?
No, gold balls. He shot gold balls out of his chest, and he would hit people with them. So, Marvel, you're not completely off the hook either.
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, they get a bunch of goofy characters as well.
And
Yeah.
Peacemaker. Peacemaker loves peace so much he would kill for it.
It's all about peace, man.
I hope they give us more backstory than these one-liners. Because
Yeah.
this
Oh,
is
they
just
will.
Ridiculous.
These are the. I like that they pulled characters out of complete obscurity.
That's true.
In the
And
DC universe.
James Gunn, you can't ever doubt his vision. So
Exactly.
he's
Nobody.
He's got
I mean,
something
a
happening.
talking raccoon and a talking tree that only says 3 words.
Right.
I mean, if anybody can make this work, if anybody can make Polka Dot Man work, it's James Gunn. Dave Bautista, as you know, was going to. We didn't know what role he was going to play. Everybody kind of
Right.
thought he'd make a cool King Shark, but apparently he's up for the role of Peacemaker,
Cool.
which I like because he is a lovable, cuddly, big badass.
Sure.
If you saw him in Blade Runner 2049,
Yeah.
and of course in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's a big badass dude, but he can play the pacifist role really good.
Very true. I like
I
that.
can see him in that. He
Yeah.
loves peace so much he'll kill for it.
But then he goes berserk and kills people.
Shut up! Will you please be quiet?
Exactly. Well, production begins this December for a July, I think, 2021 release date.
2021. Wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
this is a while.
That's cool.
It's still very much in development, but
Plenty of time for you to fall in love with Polka Dot Man.
dude, trust me, Polka Dot Man is going to be the Groot of the movie. I know it.
Right?
He's going to be the most popular character. Kids are going to dress up as Polka Dot Man for Halloween. Mark my words.
So do you
All
think
right.
he actually wears an outfit with polka dots on
Yes.
it as well?
I think he does.
Okay,
Well, in the
that's
comics, he
gonna-
kind of does. He wears a big, like, spandex polka dot,
Oh, watch out, Minnie
multicolored
Mouse.
suit.
Interesting.
Yeah, look out, Harley Quinn. Polka Dot Man's coming. So, keeping on the DC bandwagon, Shazam. We mentioned earlier that second trailer for Shazam dropped this week.
Yes.
Oh my God, the reviews are in,
That
and they
is
are
crazy.
across the board overwhelmingly spectacular.
And how long until the movie comes out?
I think it's April 5th.
So we
Oh,
still
yeah,
got
that's-
almost a
We're
month.
almost a month, and DC and Warner Brothers has already lifted the critics' embargo.
That's got to tell you something right
That
there.
tells me that Warner Brothers is very confident about this movie.
Yeah.
They are ready to start the buzz about Shazam.
Oh, I'm
We're
so
going to read
excited.
some of these Twitter reviews that just dropped this week. Brace yourself.
Oh,
Let's go.
Places
Shazam.
people. Ash Crossan wrote, Shazam was damn near perfect in my book. My favorite DC movie, and then he puts in parentheses, DCEU. What are we saying now? By far. Pure of heart, incredibly funny, full of in-jokes and references, brought me a childlike joy to watch. This role was made for Zachary Levi and Jack and Asher and the entire cast.
Wow.
Perfect?
Perfect
Interesting.
movie.
He said it was a perfect movie, and I kind of get that from watching the trailers.
I do too.
It looks
just
like it has
takes me-
heart, and
Yeah.
action, and comedy.
It reminds me so much
Fun.
of Big, and that just like
Oh,
was
yeah.
a great childhood,
Yeah.
memory. I can't wait for this movie.
The next one comes from Perry Nemiroff from Collider.com. She wrote, Shazam is an absolute delight, super vibrant, tons of heart, and great fun-loving vibe. The family element is a big charmer, and so is the humor that comes with watching Zachary Levi explore his new powers. Said this after It, but it's worth repeating. Jay Grazer is a star. I completely agree.
I do too.
The kid who played... what did he play in It? He was...
I forgot his name, but he's the one that broke his arm. The
little Jewish kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Spectacular actor. He crushes it. He makes the
Yeah.
trailers. The relationship between these two guys is just so evident when you're watching the trailers.
I
Yeah,
know.
you can definitely see it in the trailer.
Like when I'll one case of your finest beer, please. And then he steps aside and his old buddy's just like,
Standing behind him.
His name is
quality.
Captain Sparklefingers.
Captain Sparklefingers. I
No,
thought
it's
for
not.
sure they were going to say Captain Marvel there.
No.
I was like, oh, they're going to say it. Oh, Sparklefingers. I get it.
That's awesome.
Next review comes from Courtney Howard. She writes, or I think it's she, Shazam is a super-powered big, like you just said. And I loved every second of it. A colorful, vibrant, vital addition to the DCEU, vivid character-driven action, heartening central relationships, and fully earned. Totally satisfying emotional moments, super hilarious, super thrilling, super awesome.
Wow, everybody seems incredibly excited.
It's
about
the
this
second
movie.
time they use the word vibrant. And you can kind
Really?
of see that in the trailer.
Oh
It's
yeah,
true.
that
The
red.
color, like the big bright. Because a lot of people were trashing. Cast your memory back to last year when we got our first set photos of Zachary Levi wearing the big red muscly suit.
Yeah,
the
I
internet
loved it.
trashed him.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. They
Like,
did.
what is this? It looks like some stupid cosplay thing.
No, but
No,
it
he
works
looks awesome.
perfect.
It totally works.
And I feel like they haven't even updated it. I feel like it still looks
Yeah.
like when they first released it and they were promising some more like change-ups on the suit, and he looks fine.
Yeah,
I know.
I
He
agree.
looks great.
And Zachary Levi is just crushing it.
I
Every
know.
single line, every single time he's on the screen, he's just a kid
He's-
in a giant
exactly.
superhero's body.
He's an adult.
Perfect casting.
Get
I
him,
know.
Batman.
Yeah. I'm Batman. Get him, Batman.
So good.
I love that part. Last one comes from Paul Sheary. Writes, Shazam is a laugh-out-loud, funny romp that captures the innocence and challenge of being both a superhero and a kid at once. It's clever, fun, and heroic with an obvious nod to 80s classics like Big, Ghostbusters, The Goonies, etc.
Man, I can't wait for
Yeah,
this movie.
I know.
I'm almost looking forward to this just as much as Endgame.
Really?
Yeah.
It's up there. It's
I'm
really
just
up there,
so
dude.
excited
April's
to
going to
see
be nuts.
this.
You got Endgame. You got Shazam. You got Hellboy. You got Pet Cemetery. You
Oh
got
my gosh.
Star Wars celebrations. We're going to do some cool trailers. You got Game of Thrones
Man.
releasing. April's going to just absolutely
Right?
just it's nerd Viagra, man. We're just going to walk around.
Oh yeah.
Not to toot our own horn either, but I do recall us mentioning how when everybody was saying DC was on this downward spiral, maybe a few months ago, we talked
Yeah.
about, well, if they still got Aquaman, if Aquaman knocks it out of the park, if Shazam knocks it out of the park, if Wonder Woman 2 is great,
Joker.
then Joker,
Good
they're,
point.
They're going to dig
Yeah.
themselves
Yeah.
right out of this hole.
You heard it here first on Chuckload of Comics about 6 months ago.
Oh,
Like you were
yeah.
just saying. Everybody's like, oh, DC is doomed. It's ruined. And we said, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Aquaman does.
Yep.
$1 billion later, now let's see if Shazam's good. And Shazam looks amazing.
Yep.
It'd be great
Joker's
to-
going to be great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just the photos of him are amazing.
I
Yeah.
know.
And then Wonder Woman 2. I think
Yeah.
DC is back on track. And one last thing before we move on to our next topic. I think Shazam bodes really well for a standalone Flash movie.
Sure.
Now that they've realized they don't have to make these dark, scary, brooding
Yeah.
movies,
Right.
you get
I'll save that for Batman.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
You do a Flash movie in sort of the same vein as Shazam.
That's a great idea.
Bam, you got yourself a whole nother little movie franchise.
That's a fantastic idea.
And even if they don't, I think like a team up with just Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and Shazam would be
Right?
kind
Yeah.
of fun.
Exactly.
Right.
That would be
I
great.
can't wait for Shazam to join the Justice League if we ever go back down the Justice League path, which they will eventually.
Yeah. It's just on hold for now.
They're going to
Yeah.
clean that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like where they're at now is great.
So excited for
I
this.
know.
Could not be. It's probably, like you were saying, probably one of my most excited films of April.
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for April.
In the same month that Endgame comes out.
Oh, yeah.
Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought? So moving on, guys, in the world of Marvel,
Oh.
Sony is continuing its Spider-Man free Spider-Man universe.
That's so
With
weird
Morbius.
to say and think about. But
I know.
It's true. That's what's happening.
Interesting.
Morbius the
Yeah.
Living Vampire is going to be the second movie in the non-Spider-Man Spider-Verse after the success of Venom.
Yep.
I didn't think Morbius was going to happen.
I
Like when they
know.
announced it, and then Jared Leto was like kind of wishy-washy on being the Joker again. I'm like, man, I really want him to do
Morbius.
Morbius. He just
Yeah.
looks like a vampire. Well,
Right?
Oh, totally.
he
completely looks like Morbius.
I know. He tweeted this week a photo, the first ever photo we've seen. Look at this photo, guys. It shows you so much about the movie.
So cool.
It really doesn't. It's just his eyes behind the movie slate. But you do get to see kind of a logo of what the logo might kind of look like for
Okay.
Morbius. It's got like some gene, like DNA stuff in the background. It says Morbius on it. Looks pretty cool. You don't get a lot from this photo,
Right.
but it's exciting to know. What he tweeted,
happening.
he tweeted that photo and he wrote, "Caption this if you dare. Week 1 down, 11 to go."
Oh my gosh. That's
So they've
awesome.
already shot for a full week and they will be done 3 months from now.
Sweet.
It's right. It's happening.
It's definitely happening. Things are happening, man.
Yeah, well, the movie's going to star Jared Leto, obviously, as Michael Morbius, Matt Smith, and just released this week, Tyrese Gibson is going to be in it.
So cool, man.
Matt Smith is
Oh.
going to be in every movie,
Matt Smith and Idris Elba, man.
or in everything.
They're just in everything.
Oh, yeah.
They-
I'm okay with that, though.
No, yeah, they're
great.
both absolutely awesome. The movie comes out in 2020, July 2020.
awesome.
So we're going to have Morbius the Living Vampire. Do you guys know a lot about Morbius the Living Vampire? The
Other
character?
than he gets hunted by Blade.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and they're talking about making an R-rated Blade movie as part of this non-Spider-Man Spider-Verse.
Are we dragging
Wesley Snipes? No,
back into it?
absolutely not.
It'd be cool to see. Like
I think Will
this,
Smith is free though,
Yeah,
or Idris Elba. It'll be Idris Elba as Blade, which I would totally go
yeah,
see.
right?
Oh, yeah.
man, he'd be a killer Blade.
I know. Sorry, he's fully in the DC universe
Yeah,
right now,
that's true.
but he's also in the Star Trek universe. Hell,
Hey.
he was in the Marvel universe. He was freaking Heimdall.
Yeah, exactly.
Heimdall.
Heimdall.
Just- and
Sorry.
same with Ryan Reynolds. He was in both.
Yeah.
People can do
And
both,
so is Jared Leto.
right?
But he died as Heimdall, so he can go on to other
That's true.
universes now.
That's a
so.
very good point.
Well, get excited, guys. Jared Leto finally playing the role he was born to play,
Literally.
a vampire.
Just as long as he doesn't play the Joker anymore. Oh, yeah.
I know, right?
Didn't work for you?
No.
That was damaged.
Well, that's not happening. He's officially announced he's not going to be
Agreed.
the Joker anymore.
Good.
So, here we go, guys. Our review of Captain Marvel. We went and saw it. We're not going to do a full review.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to kind of give you our general thoughts, our opinion of the film as a whole, because, Ralph, you have not seen it yet.
No.
Are you excited to see
I'm
it?
very excited. I'm going to go see it tomorrow. Hit us with that review, Charles.
What are some of the things you've heard before I give you what I think?
Well, I heard from a lot of friends that like are really critical about movies. You know, they're kind of breaking down scene for scene, script, the lighting, everything, and they said they loved it. You know, but I also have a lot of artists friends that kind of said to not waste my money. And
Oh,
not
no.
do it.
So all over the place there. Like,
Yeah,
that
so
one
it's
extreme to the
mixed
other.
reviews, but a lot of the reviews say they're sticking with like the classic Marvel formula, which all
What's
right,
wrong
so
with
they're
that?
doing their
Yeah.
their classic.
They
job.
should stick
Okay,
with the
it's
Marvel formula, because the Marvel formula has made them
Billions of
$8 billion in the past
10
2
years
years.
later, you know,
Exactly.
it's still working.
Well, let me tell you. Let me go ahead and just break the ice right now. Captain Marvel's a good movie.
Yeah.
It really is a good movie.
I agree.
I wouldn't put it up there as a great movie. We're spoiled, I think. As fans of the DC, or the MCU, and just kind of superhero movies in general, we're very, very spoiled.
And
it's
they-
like you can't always be topping yourself
Right.
in every single film.
It's
No.
hard following Infinity War too.
I know.
mean,
Oh, yeah.
come on. It's got to be tough to follow that.
But if Captain Marvel would have come out 5 years ago,
Uh-huh.
10 years ago, we'd be saying, wow, this is the most amazing
It's-
superhero movie
true.
ever. But it's hard. It's hard to
Yeah.
follow 15 amazing films with what is essentially a standalone movie.
Right.
It's very much just a standalone origin film. Has nothing to do with, the goings on of Infinity War, obviously, because it takes place in the 1990s. Carol Danvers, wonderfully played.
Yes, Brie Larson
by
knocked
Brie
it out of
Larson.
the park. I thought she was great. She's perfect for this role. She's not too, overly pretty or anything. I mean, she's beautiful, but you know what I mean. Like she's just
the right amount
kind
of
just a plain Jane kind of character.
Great
It's
attitude and personality. She's always smiling and winking, and but also kicking butt the entire film, kicking some serious Skrull butt from start to finish.
Oh, I'm so excited.
You got to go see it.
It was a ton of fun.
It's definitely made for fans, I think, of the comics, because the whole first act is the Kree-Skrull War.
Right. And if you don't even know who these people are,
yeah, I'm thinking about like the people who are in the theater with me, and if you don't know what the Kree-Skrull War is, that these two races of people have been battling for generations,
right?
And that's the whole first act of the film.
Yeah,
is
no
space battles.
Introduction as to what is going on.
Yeah,
you just have to kind of know.
It's really more of a sci-fi movie than it is your typical stereotypical superhero film. It's really not a superhero film. It's a sci-fi action film, which is what I was hoping it would be.
Yeah.
A lot of space battles, which you get start to finish.
Sure.
Tons of spaceships, tons of ray guns and shape-shifting aliens.
Oh, yeah.
You get a lot.
Star Trek.
Yeah. I just don't think the casual movie-going audience was quite ready for a space adventure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm still not sure what's going on with Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if it's still like all the trollers like adding their 2 cents in there or what. But I think
it's currently sitting on
38%.
30-something% on Rotten Tomatoes from viewers and like an 80-something from critics.
Yeah, that just doesn't make sense.
I think it lands somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
I would rate it like right around in the 70s.
Yeah,
It's a solid B. It's not an A+. It's not, a Russo brothers masterpiece.
Right.
Well, of course.
But I loved it.
Again, you can't
Nick
follow
Fury,
Infinity War, man.
amazing de-aging technology with Nick Fury.
Yeah.
You don't even notice it. Like sometimes even with like Ant-Man, you kind of notice some of the de-aging technology. You don't notice this at all.
And Coulson.
Coulson,
Yeah,
I don't
everything
think
looks great.
I assume they de-aged Coulson.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be great to see
I'm
Coulson
sure.
on screen again.
It was cool. It
Every
was nice.
shot with Nick Fury is a de-aged digital shot, and you don't notice it once.
You know what? No, I didn't even think about that until you just said
You
it.
do
You're
not
right.
notice
You
it.
don't. It's great.
How many times does he say motherfucker?
He
None.
almost said it once. He didn't say it, but he almost said it once. And I won't tell you when, because it was kind of a funny part where he did say it. But it's actually a really important part.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Goose the cat was really, really cute. I don't think he stole the show like everybody was saying.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, Goose steals the show. I disagree.
Goose the Flirkin.
Oh, yeah.
Not a
Goose the
cat.
Flirkin. Which, spoiler, we all knew that Goose was a Flirkin.
Yeah. We said that before on our show.
The Skrulls
yeah.
are great. Ben Mendelsohn is killer as like the main Skrull guy. I mean, it had tons of action.
Yep.
If you're looking for a space action, space battle movie, go see it.
Yeah. And
How
the
were the-
acting was great.
Okay. How were the scrolls? I
They
know
were
there was getting a
badass.
lot of backlash on pre-CGI or stuff like that.
No, it looked
they looked
great.
They
The
looked
morphing-
way
the
better
morphing was
than
great.
Hellboy.
Okay.
Yeah. No, the makeup was fantastic. Any CGI, like when they would actually morph, looked great.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the practical effects. It wasn't like motion capture like they did with Thanos. It was
Right.
actually just rubber masks, and it's plastic masks done right.
Yes,
Awesome.
exactly.
It's makeup done perfectly well.
I agree. You could actually see their mouths moving when
Yeah.
they were talking.
Great.
Yeah, costumes were awesome. I didn't really dig. I think whoever made the soundtrack for the film doesn't know anything about 90s music,
That's true.
because I was really hoping for an amazingly badass 90s
Yeah,
soundtrack, and it really wasn't. It was That's What I Call the 90s.
Yeah.
It was pretty cheese.
Yeah,
I was
that's
expecting to
true.
hear some Spice Girls, maybe a little bit more like Soundgarden and Nine Inch
Yeah.
Nails and stuff like that. You really
They
didn't
did
get
play
that.
some Nirvana, which is nice.
You got one Nirvana
but,
song.
Yeah, you're totally right. And they played some songs that were not
Weren't in the 90s.
It's like, oh, come on.
There's a part where they play No Doubt I'm Just a Girl.
Yeah, which I
That was
guess
like a
fits for the
2001.
movie, but yeah,
That wasn't a
that's not-
95
no.
movie.
Oh. Fail.
I know that was.
So yeah, they kind of failed with the soundtrack, in my
It
opinion.
can't be as good as Guardians,
Right.
Oh,
soundtrack.
exactly. That's exactly what Chuck said when we walked out. It's like they didn't have James Gunn to
To
create
pick
their
the right
soundtrack.
songs. Exactly. So go see it. Absolutely. 100% recommend it. If you only go see one movie this year, don't make it Guardians of the Galaxy.
Captain Marvel.
Shazam.
You said
Captain Marvel.
You
I said Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I said Marvel.
You
I said Guardians.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
I've had a couple beers for breakfast. But yeah, definitely go see it this week, guys. You will not be disappointed. One of my favorite Stan Lee cameos of all time.
Oh.
Which I think is actually his
yes.
last cameo.
Really?
He's apparently not going to show up in Endgame. This was it. This was the last cameo you get
Okay.
for
so
Stan Lee, which
sad.
makes perfect sense. I won't spoil it for you,
It was great.
but it's poetic the
Yeah.
way his cameo was.
Yep.
It makes perfect sense. I won't explain to you why. Those of you who've seen the movie know exactly what I'm talking about.
Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Aw.
So, guys, that's our show. What a big week. Lots of stuff to break down.
Right?
Thanks for joining us, Ralph.
Oh, thanks for having me, Charles and Shauna.
No problem.
Always a great time here on this round table, half round table.
It's a half
It's a
round.
half round.
If we missed anything, please leave us a comment. And guys, click that subscribe button. Join us here every single Sunday for kind of the nerdy week in review. We're here every Sunday breaking down the headlines of nerddom. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you here next Sunday.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.